Hi everyone, this is Diane. So look at here, the Patriotic journals are completed. I have not put together the little packets that will come with them yet. I will do that when I clean up. You know, the best laid plans, you know how they go. So my plan for the day was to go to the flea market and get my groceries and then make my haul video and then do the finishing touches on these journals, make the video, and then clean up. Well, here it is, 6 o'clock in the evening, and I just finished the finishing touches, but it's okay. I'll take tomorrow to clean up in here. So without talking anymore, let's go into these really, really fun journals. Each of these journals was created with a vintage lace-up card on the front. We'll talk about that after I take the bow off. They are large journals because of that lace-up card. 7.5 by 10.25 inches. And I just made these fabric ties. I had talked about maybe, I have them set aside right here, putting these buttons on here and attaching an end of a tie underneath the buttons, but I decided that with this here I didn't want the buttons here. So, and I also didn't use a lot of fabric inside the journals. I used them on the cover and a little bit inside, but I had a lot of fabric selected, so I decided to go ahead and make a patchy strap tie for each journal. So I just finished doing that, and I just sewed them to a strip of this. Now, I don't think this is muslin. It's a little too soft and smooth to be muslin, but I got this at a flea market or a yard sale, and it was bigger. I've taken strips off of it. So I don't know if those were made for bandages. These fabrics were torn for bandages or quilt strips or what they were, but I thought that was a good width for this. So that's what I did. And I used red thread. So that's really fun. I didn't mean to untie it. I was just going to slide it off. Now I have to tie it again. So I used fabric to make the covers, but the fabric is covering, what did I use? Seems like it's been a while since oh, it's just chipboard. Chipboard, and then the spine is 2 layers of the flexible file folder, the hanging file folders. And so they're stiff but flexible too. Does that make sense? It's not all just fabric. And so I used a variety of fabrics. This covers the entire surface, and then I did some little patchy stuff. And this is a vintage bingo collars card. I used a couple pieces of that in these journals. And this is a digital milk bottle cap and a real ticket. And this is a piece of fabric, this tag. I just cut it off a piece of fabric that I purchased from Nancy at Wishes and Weeds a while ago. And I got this strip in a Happy Mail. So I got a couple of Happy Mails with some Patriotic items, and I used items from both of the Happy Mails. One of the Happy Mails just came today. So it was serendipitous that I didn't get to do the finishing touches earlier in the day, because I did add quite a few into the journals. This is one, this button right here. I thought that's just a finishing touch. It needs to have a little spark of red over here. So I sewed around the card, and this is an older card than the other one. They're both vintage, but this one is older. I don't know the exact date, but it's probably from the 40s. And there's it's a feed sack or corn seed bag, piece of material back here, and some vintage airmail stamps. And this is a little vintage toy or a pin. It has a pin on the back. So I put the pin through a piece of felt and then glued the felt down to the book page or to the cover. And it moves, as you can see, and I want it to be red, white, and blue. I thought that was a good way to use that piece that I've had for a couple of years. I added some pom-pom fringe to the bottom, and then I did a dangle on the spines. I had just gotten these keychains at the flea market a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, and it moves. The flag is waving, and it says, "Long may she wave." So I just put that through the eyelet and then did the strings, the colored strings with red, white, and blue beads. Let's take a look inside. This one is just going to be called Little Sailor. I used fabric on the inside for the pocket and the covering. This is a fabric applique and some grosgrain ribbon digital up there. I'm not going to talk about all the digitals. I can link them below. There is a airmail envelope inside with nothing in it. You can put something in there. This is something I just picked up at the flea market last week, and it was a little booklet that it was from 1976, the bicentennial year in America, and it was a little booklet where you could collect these different flags that were used for different things throughout our history in the United States. This one has a flag on it. The person had collected a few flags, but not a lot. And then just a blank postcard with George Washington on it. Okay, am I in? There we go. This is a really patriotic looking scrapbook paper, a vintage Denison label. And look at this, I found my gold stars. I told you I couldn't find my gold stars. I had my silver ones, these are vintage, and I had gold ones. And then the other day I got down my little box that has all these little containers because I was looking for the stars that I had die cut. And look, there were the gold stars. So now all of the stars are going to go in that little box. The silver ones will go in another box. So all the stars will be together. Here is a vintage pattern, all in red, white, and blue. And it's got a little piece of ribbon down the side and this little fringy trim. And I have this little menu or program booklet from a special event that was held on board the, was this the one on the Queen Elizabeth? Order of the Eastern Star. Oh, maybe not. I have something with it says Norma and Clyde. So anyway, this is not the Queen Elizabeth. I have something with that on it. But because of the blue color and the ship, I thought it looked nice in a patriotic journal. Sweet Land of Liberty. I just got this in the Happy Mail today from Pam. And this also. I love that stationery piece. So I needed something else to add into this pocket. So that was perfect. Thank you, Pam. And this has a fuel service receipt. I liked the red and blue on it. That's the only reason I chose that. And a card that I just got from Pam. And these refreshments tickets that are clipped on there. Anything that's clipped to a page you can remove and use them anywhere in the book. I had just gotten these flag cards, playing cards, at the flea market a few weeks ago. This is from my sewing pattern book from the 1970s, also for the bicentennial. It was a pattern for all of these appliques. And there were 2 pages, so each journal gets a page. I did some collage on this side of that page. That's a stamp. I used a digital kit. I don't know where I got the digital kit. I can't remember, but it has red, white, and blue on it. They're just flowers. It wasn't a patriotic kit, but I wanted to use it because of the colors. I thought it would add a little softness. And I printed this on the back of it. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Nope, that's glued on. Anyway, it's there. Here's a piece of cardstock pattern paper and some fabric on the edge. See, I did use a little fabric inside. I added a popcorn bag and just created a really quick tag with scrapbook paper pieces and another lady cut from a pattern and some fabric. You can slip those right over the top of the bag. This is one of the pages for children to practice handwriting, and it's blank at the top so they could draw a picture to go along with what was written. But this would be a good place for you to place a photo and then write about it. That's a digital. Have some music here for Yankee Doodle Dandy and America. Washi tape and a vintage stamp right here with an airmail plane. And then this was not a patriotic song, so I just put a digital paper on the back. And this was in another Happy Mail, and it's from a Norman Rockwell book. The man is painting a George Washington Tavern sign. There's Abe Lincoln. A daily log for a trucker, I believe, but it's red print, so I used that. This is grid vellum. You probably can't see the grid pattern on camera, but it's a light blue and it's vellum. And then this is a teacher's attendance book or project book or something. It was a nice wide page. Not wide enough though. I had to add a little bit. And this is a vintage milk bottle cap in red, white, and blue. And I added a shoe store tag there. Here's another digital with the patriotic looking flowers, and then I printed on the back. I got these stickers in a Happy Mail, so I applied a couple of them there. And this came today in the Happy Mail with the stars at the top. And I had saved this out of an old magazine when you come to the end of a summer day, and that fit on there just perfectly. I cut some, with my Big Shot and dies, some shield shapes and medallion shapes, and used them with some vintage stamps. I needed some smaller pockets. I'd been making large pockets because these are large pages, but I had some smaller ephemera pieces, so I needed smaller pockets. This is from a vintage magazine, and there's nothing, it's about Campbell's tomato soup, but it just looks patriotic in the colors. And this is a scrapbook paper and a digital. And this is a little form to fill out to order Time Life books, but it's printed in blue. A little patriotic journaling tag and a card from Pam, proud to be an American. And I put that in there because those words stick up. Got some red tickets here and another card from Pam with the Liberty Bell and a bridge tally in blue and white. I did some stenciling on this plain white end of the page. This is a digital. Here's another card that came with the flag card. Digital there. And I had a blue library pocket. This was cut out of a magazine, this piece of bunting, and it was just the right width. Some digitals and a library card. This is vintage with some rickrack sewn across the top. And there's a recipe printed in blue for funnel cakes. Overnight coffee cake. And this image from a magazine. Very patriotic. Second signature has this that I printed onto rice paper or typing paper, and it has a slight texture like those old popsicle bags, if you remember them. And a grosgrain ribbon with red and blue hearts and some blue eyelet. And then I added this red, white, and blue Mallow Cup coupon. And you might want to tuck it in here under the cards like I did so it's not flopping around and getting bent. This was in a Happy Mail, and it fits in there very nicely. And then this was in my collection. I thought it was a postcard, but it's not. But it has the 121st Psalm. That's a really good psalm. And an American flag. So if you just tuck this down in there, it will protect it. This is a digital and a rubber stamp. And I added another red, white, and blue order form in here for RCA Victor Record Club. There's a red, white, and blue quilt playing card from Pam. And I added this vintage admit one ticket. And I added a vintage price card here. And a digital, no, this is not, is it digital? I have some of these, but this isn't glossy, so I don't know if that's digital or not. I did emboss some stars in gold up here. And this is part of a V-mail letter. You'll see the rest of it on the other side. This pin, jeweled flag pin, was in a magazine. And that's a digital. This is from a vintage magazine from the 40s. And just because she's red and white, she's peeling apples. No, she's preparing tomatoes for canning. She's got her canning jars right there. And I added this trim to the edge. This is a vintage check from 1898, but it's red print and blue print and a red stamp on a cream background, so I thought it was perfect. So you get a really old check. And this paper from a moving company called Wabash. It's red, white, and blue, serving the heart of America. And another blue recipe for strawberry bread. This is a digital label, and I used a white Uniball pen to write Liberty. And I tucked that paper in. This is an airmail envelope, a vintage one that I glued down. And this is a needle book with the needles in it, the Army and Navy needle book. This is a very old piece of music, National Emblem March, and it's got the flag on it. I put some washi tape up here because of some tearing. I didn't cover all the edges. They're soft, and like this corner will probably fall off before too long. It'll probably, look worse, not better, but I didn't protect it completely. I protected it so that it wouldn't just fall out of your book. There's John F. Kennedy. That's another Rockwell painting. And here is a painting about democracy. It's got a man and a woman. One of them is on the Democrat side and one is on the Republican side. They're a husband and wife, and they're not happy with each other right now. This is a tiny little vintage milk bottle cap, and I put it on one of those die-cut medallion pieces and added my vintage stars. There's a little journaling spot here where there was text, but there's lots of room to write on that page. This is another teacher's calendar page. Scrapbook paper, a vintage label. There's a lot of vintage stuff in here. I stamped those three corners and then added this digital. It's another printable. I wasn't sure if this was, I had it the other way, and then I thought that didn't look right, so I turned it this way, and now I think that doesn't look right. So I don't know, it might be upside down. Here's the other half of that sheet music cover. I added some vintage photos here with my red, white, and blue photo corners that I just got. I used 7 of them in each journal because I didn't need one here. So each journal has a page set up like this. So I used 7 of my photo corners, and I don't have a lot left. It wasn't a full package of them. I was so happy to find them. There's a red, white, and blue hot air balloon, and this photo of a lady by a lake. I'm assuming there's grass, and there's water here, and there's another picture of her in the water, standing in the water. And some little patriotic note papers to write on. I created these. I don't think I did these on camera, but I cut these out with a die and then stamped a music background stamp that I have in red and blue, and then cut these out in yellow and stamped "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams" and "Live, love, dream." It's a digital there. Here's the other side of the V-mail paper from during World War II. It's in really good condition. It was still in the envelope. I have several of them that came in an envelope. And here I have a vintage raffle ticket for the American Legion. It's red, white, and blue, and it's 1954. And this is a digital. This is a stamp. I don't have this stamp, but it's a ticket for the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company. My friend Leslie had stamped those, a stack of them, and cut them out, and I still have some because I hoard them so badly. But each journal got one. And here is another embossed star. I think you can see it. This is just from a leftover journal kit that I had used in the past. I stamped all along there. And I used a red, white, and blue milk carton kit. I did show this on a video because it was plain white down here where it was, you know, the flaps for the bottom of the carton had no printing. And I didn't want to cut them off because I wanted this size, but I didn't want it to be just plain white. So I sewed this piece of blue fabric or paper to it and added a label. And I must say I stuck it on there pretty crooked. But it did make a nice size carton. And here is another Norman Rockwell book page. This came from an old magazine, an ad for U.S. swimsuits. And for the tab on it, I just took a little piece of that red, white, and blue Grant's department store plastic. It's a very thin plastic measuring tape. And this is a cracker ad. It's not patriotic, but it's blue and white, and with the red page, it looks patriotic. And I loved it as a pocket. I created this one on a video with the speckled background, the digital images. All of these are digitals. And then the leather star that I stamped, or I colored it with alcohol inks, and then stamped a plaid stamp and tied that on there. I got this bag of stars. If you didn't see the video, this is what they look like originally. Some are darker than others. But I tried different stamps, and here's one I dyed blue and stamped a crackle stamp on it. So this guy wasn't at the flea market today. He had a bag of oval leather pieces, just like these, with the ball chain. But I was hoping to get them if he was there, and he still had them. But he wasn't there today. This is a blue 1941 school taxes receipt in blue and red, and I added red, white, and blue tickets. And here is another card from Pam. She had so many patriotic American cards. Here's the ship. I stamped two swirly stamps. Well, one swirly stamp, but I used two colors to stamp it. This is a 1958 calendar in red, white, and blue, and it's June. So I think the other one is July. I kept the August one so I can put it in my own journal when I make a patriotic journal, probably not this year, but because my birthday's in August. It's a digital milk bottle cap. This is from a pattern catalog, children's clothing in red, white, and blue, and made a ruffle with that fabric. And there's a stationary piece with a flag, and I just put it in there so that the ruffle lays on top of it. And here's another vintage check from 1931 It has the eagle, the shield, and the flag. A peanut bag, and it's just a scrap of cardstock in here. This was out of a magazine that has the flag folded over a wooden hanger, and the hook on the hanger wasn't shown, so I added a star there, and I added a couple of pages or little strips, pieces of paper that you can journal on. And here is the back side of a music book that I just got. The front side is in the other journal, but it's red, white, and blue. This is from a calendar, and I do believe that that is Norman Rockwell, because the other book has the same image too, and I think it came from the Norman Rockwell book. There's another medallion with a vintage airmail plane in red. Just a blue paper, teacher's paper, a digital tag. I know that is from Tremblay's Letter Press is the name of the Etsy shop. I love this digital. It looks like an airmail envelope with the stamps and this imprint on it. And it's marked 1946. And this is an Avon paperclip because it's red and white. That's one of my dry cleaners tickets. Customer knows condition. Just do the best possible. And this is from a magazine, just a berry dessert, but it looks red, white, and blue. This came from a magazine with the semaphore flags. You can write on the back. And this was sent to me in a Happy Mail. And this came out of a National Geographic magazine. That's a digital calendar again. I stamped the hearts and the stars. And this is a pocket. I did this on a video. I made the pocket with some scrapbook paper and the Viewmaster pocket and reel. This is Garden of the Gods in Colorado, USA. Added a vintage silver star there. And then this little sailor. I've had him in my collection for a long time. I don't know if I bought him or if I got it in a Happy Mail. But this is the perfect journal for him. So you can write on them. It's a little Hallmark card. So cute. And then a fabric pocket on the back. And this is just taken from an old scrapbook that I got at a flea market. I just left it the way it was with a torn edge. And it was a 69-cent scrapbook. And you can write on the back in another airmail envelope. And I stamped my signature stamp in red and then signed my name on it. So this one is Little Sailor, and I'll try to go more quickly through this one. This one is Little Majorette. She has the same, pretty much the same fabrics on her tie. It'll loosen up. You can untie it and retie it if you want to. The same types of beads, and it has, I used the yellow keychain because she's got yellow on the cover. These keychains came with a yellow case or a green case, not red or blue. And then this silvery star was in the Happy Mail today, so I added this to the little row of Mylar stars there. So you had something nice for the covers of both journals in your package, Pam. So thank you so much. There's a milk bottle cap here. And collage back here is another piece of that bingo callers card. Same things inside here. This is another page from that stamp book. And there's a stamp right there, the Cross of St. George flag. Oh, two of them, Bunker Hill flag. And this is a piece of vintage fabric that I picked up out of the muddy ground at a flea market type of sale that I went to, and she just gave it to me free. Another sewing pattern here, more vintage stars, a vintage label, a vintage ship banquet honoring Norma and Clyde, worthy grand matron and worthy grand patron. And another of the stationery sheets from Pam, and this card from Pam. I put this one in the same way, and it looks up, well, it's different because it's not the same, but it has the same shape, and I feel like it should go that way, but I'm thinking I should have moved it the other way. Here's another one of those fuel service receipts, and another Patriotic quilt card. This one says, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. And this was not Patriotic, so I just added some digital paper there. There's Yankee Doodle, and that is a Norman Rockwell painting. This is a digital, but this is genuine. See, this one is shiny, so that's real. I think that other one was a digital. More stickers there. This is just a printed postage paid part of an envelope that someone had saved. It has a little bit of vintage tape on it. And this is an ad for Jell-O. This is in a very old magazine, but it's red, white, and blue. Jiffy Jell, not Jell-O brand. A stamp here with an eagle. We have a Jell-O lemon flavor ad as a pocket. This is a book of rugs, order form, red, white, and blue. And the tally card, Statue of Liberty card, and a digital tag. Guess I better glue that better. That's a digital right there. And this is a vintage drum card. And a digital, did I say digital? This is vintage. This is real. And this is a digital Columbia hair cream label. And this part is cut out of an old magazine from the 40s. Strawberry cake recipe. Here we have the same card that's in the other journal, and then the Liberty Bell postcard and the Mallow Cup card. An order form here in red, white, and blue, and a Patriotic card and a ticket. It's the V-mail. This came out of a children's book. Digital. Vintage ad. And inside this pocket is a paper to write on. An 19-something check. Very early turn of the century. With, I don't know who that represents. Columbia. There's a shield. She's holding a wreath. I don't know who she is. She's representative of something. And this ad for, I guess, tanning lotion or something. There's another needle book in here. Has the eagle and the shield on the back. I love this airmail envelope with the airplanes. Here's another piano or music sheet paper, the cover, military sketches. Norman Rockwell. Oh, I did a stencil there. kind of blurred a little bit. A Norman Rockwell painting of a man retouching the eagle at the top of the flagpole. Another tiny little milk bottle cap. This is a vintage label right here. The same pockets. The V-mail. And the American Legion raffle paper and a digital. The milk bottle, or the milk carton, and this one has something from the Montgomery Ward and Company Great Jubilee Sale, very special price offerings. So whatever was inside is missing, but it has the catalog you could have gotten. Does it have a date? There's the Montgomery Ward Company. You could write here on the order form if you wanted to. I don't see a date anywhere, but it looks pretty old. And then this pattern is from the 40s or 50s. It's just the front of the pattern. I sewed it to some cardstock and added that Montgomery, or the Grant's red, white, and blue measuring tape. Here's an ad for Delicia cookies, sugar wafer cookies, and the tag that I made has different ephemera than the other one, but it's made the same. Same things here. I love that Liberty Bell card. Yep, July 1958. And here are the photos. It's a flag flying and two little boys, I think they're twins, in sailor suits saluting the person taking the picture. This is from a magazine. Here's the front cover of that music book, The Easy Way to Play Jive, Jazz, and Swing. And that's a vintage postage stamp. This is a digital tag and a digital airmail envelope with the Avon paperclip. And this little pocket is the little box from the Denison airmail stickers. They look like this via airmail. The box was falling apart, and I just got this in a Happy Mail. I've gotten so many Happy Mails lately, but I'm thinking this was Peggy, but I might be wrong. Anyway, I just opened up the box and made a pocket out of it, and there's a lighthouse postcard and an ad for Comet Rice, because it's red and white, and this little postcard tag. It's just a tag. This is a vintage, I think it's from a stamp collector's book, 100th Anniversary United States Postage Stamps. And here's another vintage card with the flag. I think this book got both of the vintage cards. I was having a hard time keeping things straight between the two books. Here's another Viewmaster roll, Duluth and North Shore Drive in Minnesota. And this little girl from my pattern book. And in the back pocket is an order form in red for Better Homes and Gardens and a airmail envelope. So, I don't know what day this is going to be. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be Thursday that this will be in the shop. It'll be either Thursday or Friday, but whatever day you see this, I'm just going to have these available in my shop when you see the video. So I hope that you like these. I had a lot of fun making them. I still have a lot of Patriotic supplies, so I'll be packing those away with the cover materials that I have for a future Patriotic journal. Thank you for those who contributed to my journal supply, and thank you for those of you who have watched all of my videos as I made them and commented. I appreciate it so much. Helps me to just keep on going, knowing that you guys are looking forward to seeing the next video. It means a lot to me. I'll see you soon, and I hope you're having a creative day. Bye.